Hey guys, it's Tick here, and I'm just putting up my thoughts on the next generation of consoles because yesterday the new Xbox was revealed with the details, and now that we know enough stuff about what's going to be happening next generation, I'm going to make my honest thoughts about it. What is wrong with developers this next gen? All three of them have got major problems. People speculate that this next generation is going to be the last. Before the PlayStation 4 and the new Xbox was revealed, I didn't believe them. Now, it's a very good chance. It's a very good chance. But it's not because of the fact that online games are going to become popular or handhelds and markets. No. It lies solely in the problem of the developers. I'm going to start off with the one that was revealed the most recently, the Xbox One. I don't know what Microsoft was smoking when they decided on the stuff in this thing. No backwards compatibility. No ability for used games. It's just... Let's start one at a time. Backwards compatibility. Consoles are never going to be in constant production. The NES has been out of production for decades. So is the Mega Drive. So is the SNES. The PlayStation 1, well, you can still get one. It's no longer in production. They've stopped production of the PlayStation 2. Now, one of the reasons that we go for the games with backwards compatibility is because when a console is no longer in production anymore, there's still games that we want to play on there. And if you don't own that console, how do you get one? How do you play it? Consoles, the old ones at the very least, buying them are getting more and more expensive. It's also cheaper and more effective if you just get a console that can play the last gen games. Look at the PlayStation 3 when it first came out. You could play all your PlayStation 2 games. And you know what? That was great. The Xbox 360. While you can't play all of them, you could still play quite a few old Xbox games. That was great. The Wii. You could play all of your GameCube games. That was just absolutely amazing. Backwards compatibility helps what's the word I'm looking for? Helps convince people to get it, because there's a ton of classics that a backwards compatible console could benefit from. The PlayStation 3 could benefit from, back when it did have the backwards compatibility, Jak and Daxter, Final Fantasy X. What's another one that was good? Shadow of the Colossus, Ico. I know that they're putting these games, onto the PlayStation Network and you can buy them. But here's the thing. Why should you have to pay for a game twice? How's that fair? You went out years ago, back when the PlayStation 2 was, the PlayStation 2, the GameCube and the Xbox were all there. You went out and you bought Shadow of the Colossus. You went ahead and, bought a brand new copy. Why should you have to pay for another one on the PSN? It's just outright unfair. And the fact that both the PlayStation 4 and the new Xbox, which is called the Xbox One, which is a pretty fucking ridiculous name, will have zero backwards compatibility. I understand that you guys want to put down production costs, but removing something that would actually improve your sales, what the fuck were you smoking? Anyway, back to the Xbox One, because as I said, I'm going through these in order. You cannot get used games. If you get a used game, you have to pay a fee. and it instantly. I'll go back up to that. No, I'll ignore the used game one for now because that is my biggest complaint. You have to install the games. It's mandatory onto your hard drive. Okay, look. You have a 500 gig hard drive attached to your console, Microsoft. I'm going to compare this to my 2 terabyte hard drive on my PC. No, in fact, better idea. I have an external hard drive that is 500 gigs. It's where I keep all my Steam games. And so I say that's a pretty damn good comparison to what the Xbox is doing. First most, games nowadays are pretty fucking big. In fact, not pretty fucking big, they are big. GTA 4, for example, is 10 gigs to download. Team Fortress 2 is 20 gigs to download. Now, here's the thing. I've got a mixture of big games and the smaller games that only like 100 meg, but the point is, I've got 100 games installed on here, but only like about 10, 20 of them are actually big games. Let me see. Counting this up. Alan Wake is one. Arma 2. Borderlands 2. Chivalry. Skyrim. EVE Online. Half-Life 2. Now, actually, I'm not going to include Half-Life 2. I'm going to include only the ones that are currently in this current generation, not the ones that came out last gen. Let's see. Left 4 Dead 2. Payday the Heist. Medieval Total War. Portal 2. Resident Evil 6. Rome Total War. And Team Fortress 2, which I'll count. The new Tomb Raider. Yeah, that's about 8 games. 8 games that I have on my external hard drive are ones that would probably be released for these consoles. Every single one of them is 10 gigs or higher. Now let's just think here. You have all these games. Let's say you install like 10, 20 games onto your hard drive. That's half your hard drive used up. And we haven't even gotten to the DLC. And DLC can be pretty fucking big. Okay? I've been seeing DLC now getting as big as like maybe 5 gig. Now what if they all had 5 gigs of DLC? And the fact that you have to uninstall and reinstall them is just ridiculous. There is a reason why some of us don't install games on our consoles. It's because we don't need to. The disc is there. If you're making it so you have to install the disc, why don't you just throw out the disc and make it downloadable? Why don't you go just all digital? Make it so that you just have to download the game. What the fuck is the point in putting a disc in just for it to be installed? Because, you know what? Once it's installed, you don't need the disc anymore. Why don't you just throw the disc out completely? Make it all digital. The next one. This is the one where I lost all hope with the Xbox One. Still a stupid name. It's policy on used games. You have to first be always online so that it knows that the game that you've got is bound to your account. I'll talk about this one because while it is a sidestep, it's stupid. Not everyone can afford internet. Not everyone can afford good internet. There are people out there that own these consoles that do not have internet. Why? Because they can't afford to pay for the internet monthly. By making it so that you have to be online, and you can say, oh no, you just have to be online when you put the game in, or every 24 hours. That's what they said, basically. When you install the game, you have to be online so it can be bound to your account. And you have to be online once every 24 hours while playing the game. Otherwise, you can't play the game. As I said, not everyone can afford internet. Not everyone wants to afford an internet. Not everyone wants to go on Xbox Live. I have friends that have they want to play some Xbox games, but they don't want to go online. Why should they have to pay not only for internet, but also your yearly subscription fee just to play a goddamn game? Now, I don't know if they said that you have to pay the Xbox Live subscription fee, but I'm almost certain, considering how money grubbing Microsoft is with the Xbox One, that they'll do that. They'll make it so that you have to freaking play. You'll have to pay that 50 quid a year, if you want to play a game single player. As I said, not everyone has internet. Not everyone wants to play on the Xbox Live, okay? And yet you are forcing it on us. You're fucking yourself over, Microsoft. You are just like, oh yeah, let's make them pay more money. Well, guess what? We don't want to pay more money. Okay? Some of us can't afford that. Not all of us are from, a luxurious background. Okay? Some of us have to penny pinch. Some of us put all our hard-earned money into getting something pre-owned. What you are trying to do is removing that variable. And guess what? More people come from an unprivileged background than the stuff you're trying to sell the Xbox One for, okay? The Xbox One, in my eyes, is just a rich man's toy. Before I finish off with the Xbox One, I'm going to continue with the used games. So, you install the game onto your Xbox. You can play it. Great. You want to show it off to a friend. You take the disc to your friend's house. You have to pay a fee to put it onto his console. They haven't said how much it is, but I'm almost certain it's going to be something like, I don't know, 10, 20 bucks. Here's no real kicker. So, you decide to pay the fee. You pay the fee, you install it onto your friend's console. You play it for a bit. You then go home. You decide to start playing it. What's this? It's been uninstalled from your console. That's right. It is bound to one Xbox Live account, and if it's found on another Xbox account, it's installed from the previous one. Okay. Look. With used games, I understand that you don't get any money from it. I absolutely, perfectly understand that. Because once you take it back to a game shop, they get the money from the used game, not you. But there's a reason why we buy used games. There is a perfectly valid reason, and it's almost the exact same as the reason as why I thought that your always on thing was just stupid. Some of us, as I said, don't have a lot of money. As a result, we have to penny pinch. If there's a game that we really want, that we can't afford because it's a lot of money, we wait until someone finishes it and hands it in as a used game. That's how it goes with some of us. We want games. We can't afford them. We wait until they've become pre-owned. We buy them at a reduced price, at the risk of them not working. And don't you think as well that it's wrong to deny the goodwill of those that hand in these games? Okay, I've only handed in a couple of games in the past because I'm a bit of a collector when it comes to that, but there's people who will complete a game 100% and then they'd hand it back in. Don't you think that those people that could be doing it purely out of the bottom of their heart, purely thinking, well, there's probably somebody out there watching trailers for this game that can't afford it. I will go and hand this into the game shop so that they can get it as a reduced price. Don't you think you're denying those people? Okay, what about those people that just don't want to own these games? Game retailers probably won't take them now because you gotta pay that fee. Another one is this: games are never in production forever. Okay? Do you see any more productions of Dark Cloud 1? Do you see any more productions of Gears of War? You don't. Why? Because they've gone past that point where producing them would be more expensive than getting sales. How do you get your hands on a game that's no longer in production? You get it pre-owned. It's just... I understand that you want to make money off the used game market. But this is not the way you do things. You don't force the underprivileged to pay money. Not to mention, and I haven't even mentioned this because that is the least of my complaints, the fact that when you install it on a friend's console after paying the fee, it's uninstalled off your console. Why can't you just make it so that you pay the fee and it's on both your consoles? What is so wrong with that? We don't have any information right now if when it's uninstalled you have to pay the fee. But if you have to pay the fee, then I'm betting you that the Xbox One will be the worst selling console. Now that's my rant on the Xbox One gone. Let's move on to the PlayStation 4, because that was next to be announced. Honestly, let's grab to the PlayStation 4. That's a granted. But it's nowhere near as bad as the Xbox One. I actually would be willing to get a PlayStation 4, all honesty. I'll just overall go over my complaints right now with the PlayStation 3. It's focusing too much on social stuff. Not as much as the Xbox One, which... seriously. But the PlayStation 4... The thing is... A console is meant to play games. Bottom line, that's what it's meant to do. Play video games. I do not care if you can surf the internet on your PlayStation 4. I do not care if you can tweet to people or Skype to people, because you know what? I've got a computer right here. Okay? I've got a smartphone right here. I can do that with them. The next complaint I've got with the PlayStation 4, I know that was a very, very short rant here, but I don't really have much to rant about. It's just like, seriously guys, I understand that you want to make it, you want to like pitch your console to us more, but you don't need to put all that stupid shit or whatever. I mean, it's like, just, I don't know, the money that you could have made, just like, I don't know, make it so that it comes with a built-in Oculus Rift. I would pay to get that shit. The next one is, once again, no backwards compatibility. I've already made my rant about this. Here's the thing that's irritating me, though. They've said, oh yeah, we will give backwards compatibility eventually with a service. Give me more information on the service, guys. Will we have to pay? Will it be a monthly subscription? If it's a monthly subscription, why? Okay, what is with you and Xbox wanting to just outright ruin, our classics? We have, I've still got a Final Fantasy. In fact, one second, give me a second. I'm just going to go pick it up right now. I'm going to go pick it up so I have my point through. Okay? So you guys just stay there. Just wait a second. Let's see. Where is it? Start that one. I've got two drawers full of PlayStation 2 games I could never play on the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 4. What I've got right now in my hands is Final Fantasy 12, a Platinum edition of Final Fantasy 12. I fucking love this game. Okay? This is an amazing game on the PlayStation 2. It works perfectly fine. I'm looking at the disc. There are no scratches. Not one. A couple of smudges here and there, sure, but that's granted. This is an old game. Everything's still here. The instruction book, The actual disc. Okay? Why should I have to pay to play this on your PlayStation 4? Why can't I just play it for free? I've spent money getting this game. Why do I have to spend it again to play it? I understand you want money. I understand you're going through some pretty hard financial times. But that is not the thing that you do. You do not screw over the fan base. Okay? As I said, not everyone is... Despite what you want to believe, guys, not everyone that plays your consoles is privileged. Some of us could not probably afford to rebuy this game. Top of that, onto the fact that we don't know if it's going to be a monthly service. If it's a one-time purchase that allows you to play these, your games all the way from the PlayStation 1 to the PlayStation 3. If it's a one-time price of like, I don't know, 50 quid, then yeah, I'll be irritated. I'll be angry at that. But honestly, I'd roll with it because 50 quid to play 3 generations of games, I can't deny that is a good deal. If it goes over 100 though, I'm just going to be like, fuck you. So, yeah, that's the interesting thing. The PlayStation 4, like how the PlayStation 4 got the PlayStation 3 got all this fleck to begin with. After all, we remember its E3 presentation, and oh god, that was bad. But, have you noticed that the Xbox One is getting that fleck now? Because the Xbox One is just a horrible idea. The PlayStation 4's got its problems, granted, but I don't think they actually mentioned anything about the used games. I actually think they're still allowing used games. And if that's the case, then you've probably got another consumer here right here. Because if you say no, then you can fuck off. Now let's go to the final one. The Wii U. Honestly, I don't know what to think of this console. I fear that it's pulling a Dreamcast. Well, a lot of people are thinking that. You see, the Wii U was the first of the next generation of consoles. Came out, I believe, sometime last year. Another console did this 2 generations ago. It was meant to symbolize the next generation. It came out about a year before the next ones. And what happened to the Dreamcast? It died. Nobody would support it, and it was beaten out by the technologically superior consoles. And I'm worried that Nintendo's just done the exact same thing. EA have stated that they have no games in development for the Wii U. And as much as I hate EA, you can't deny that their games bring in a lot of money. The fact of the matter is as well is that looking at the specs of the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, they're stronger than the Wii U. I have absolutely no real quarrels with the Wii U right now, except its lack of games. I have a policy where I will not buy a console unless the value of its games equal a console. Let's see. Okay, the PlayStation 4 is going to cost 450 quid. An average PlayStation 4 game is probably going to cost 50 quid. That means that there needs to be 9 PlayStation 4 games on that console to interest me before I buy a PlayStation 4. The Wii U, for me, currently only stands at about 2. It needs more games. And it doesn't need more games based on its franchise. It needs more games, more exclusives, based on what people, the main current gamer base enjoys. Because it's all well and good making games for a specific bunch of fans, but it's not going to make you money. And that's what Nintendo needs to stay afloat right now. They need to make money badly. They need to make the Wii U worth it. Yeah, sure, you can throw us all the Metroid games, you can throw us all the Zelda games, you can sell us all the Mario games, but that's not what the gamer base wants. You need to make exclusives that fit with the gamer base. That way, people will be like, oh, that game looks good. I will buy the console for it because that looks like something that I would enjoy. Look at all the exclusives that are coming out right now. They're all shooters, pretty much. Action adventures, third-person shooters. Or first-person. There's a reason because of this. One, is because the game industry is fucking retarded and don't know originality. But two, gamers want that. They want action-adventure more than anything else. They want first-person shooters more than anything else. I mean, look at Call of Duty, for Christ's sake. All those people that are buying Call of Duty, if you're watching this, seriously. It's just the last game copy and pasted. But the thing is, it sells. Why does it sell? It's because people want that. They want those first-person shooters. They want stuff like that. If you don't have any exclusives that appeal to the main gamer base, the main gamer base ain't gonna buy it. So you're not gonna get money. In order of what I think is going to do good, I think that PlayStation 4 is actually going to be the winner this generation. Unless the Wii U can pull its head out of its arse and get its head down and work, the PlayStation 4 is probably going to be winning this generation. And I think that the Xbox One is either going to be one of the worst, or it might flat out kill Microsoft. Because I haven't heard, out of all my friends, and some of them are Xbox fans, I haven't heard a single person say, oh, well, I'm going to get the Xbox One. They're all saying they'll get the PlayStation 4 or the Wii U. Luckily, for Sony and Microsoft, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are still in development. They're still being built, still being tuned. I know that nobody from there is going to be listening to me. I know that many of them don't give a shit of what I'm talking about. But as a consumer, as a person who has purchased both of your consoles, I can put my comparison down. Xbox One. Unless you want a shipwreck of a sale, remove the ability, the mandatory install on the HUD. Remove the fee for used games. Remove the uninstall from the used games. Go back to the goddamn drawing board and rethink your strategy. PlayStation 4. As much as I know that I couldn't stop you doing this, at the very most, please make the backwards compatibility service a one-time, rather cheap service. Don't make it monthly. Because honestly, more people will probably buy. I've noticed this. More people normally buy the big one-time purchases more than the monthly subscriptions. Because monthly subscriptions is currently dying right now in favour of the freemium stuff. Now, this is mostly in MMORPGs, but it's also applying elsewhere. People are more inclined to go for a one-time purchase. So, I think that if Sony, if you, with your PlayStation 4, made the service a one-time purchase only, so around 50 to 70 quid, then you would be on the way for a winner if that's the case. Because, as I said, if you made it like 50 to 70 quid, I would buy that service in a heartbeat. Because then I would be able to play my PlayStation 1 games and my PlayStation 2 and free games on a single console. And you have any idea how happy I would be at that? Because then I won't have to wire up my other consoles. So, that was my thought/rant on the current generation of consoles. I will catch you guys next time.